so alive. Hi, let's talk. Hi, let's talk. No more, no less. No more, no less.
Welcome back to Hi, Let's Talk. No more, no less. We are currently looking at one of the most debated topics in the film industry: Hollywood versus Nollywood, formula or creative mastery. I'm your humble host, Ademola Oyediran, actor OAP, amongst other things. And joining me is my co-host.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Oluwatoyosi Toyosi. I am a storyteller, I'm a creative director, and I am passionate about shaping how stories are told and experienced. I'm so happy to be here again for us to have another exciting conversation with our wonderful guest. Thank you so much for joining us.
Right. Thank you, Toyosi. Thank you very, very much. Now, before we dive into the math of movie making, today's episode is brought to you by Shiba Tifokombale Film Academy, a platform dedicated to training and nurturing the next generation of creatives in film and media. So if you are passionate about acting, filmmaking, storytelling, or content creation, this is definitely a community you want to be a part of. Also, please don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Film Academy. You can stay updated. Now back to the discussion. So, Hollywood has Hollywood has their say the cat beats, ones, huge journeys, and Hollywood is in this fascinating crossroads of high budget tacos and gritty experimental indie films. So to help us navigate this, we have someone who is like literally in the trenches of the modern Nollywood writers room. She's a powerhouse screenwriter and filmmaker whose name is behind some of the biggest recent hits. So joining us today is Juliet Iwuoha. You've seen her work on the Sharp family drama, A Very Dirty Christmas, and the action-packed Beckma. She was recently named one of the most impactful people in film for 2025. Juliet, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Good evening, everyone. I am thrilled, for this, and not just because it's rich, also because it's necessary that we talk about these things, because there are people who have to know, who have to understand and learn to relearn things. Thank you very
so
much.
much. Thank you so much. Now, Juliet, don't mute yet. We've touched on the highlights, but we would love to hear the story behind the credits, right? So, could you introduce yourself to the audience and give us a bit of insight into your background and the different roles you play within the industry?
I always say acting was my first love, but I don't know, the results will beg to differ, because I started acting stage. I had my first passion for art as an actor, and then I segued into writing after a big disappointment that had broken my heart. That's a story for a whole session. So I happened into writing. I wrote a first book, Betty's Magic Shoes. It was a children's book, and that opened up to the bigger world of writing, because then I tried my first screenplay, and I sold that, and then recommendations came from that. It's been 7 years, actually 8 years this year, since I started writing for film.
Wow.
And Beckma was one of the stories that challenged me so much, but it came out the way it came out, and I'm proud of it. A Very Dirty Christmas stretched me in a different way, because it was my first time trying a genre like that, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk about today. But yes, I don't know if any one of you has seen A Very Dirty Christmas. It was quite controversial last year, but
Yeah,
The
I heard
controversy
so. I haven't seen
was
it
on
yet.
empty
You know,
I
basis.
heard
I
so, but
suppose
So
I
I'm
might
yes,
have.
planning to
it
watch it
was a
actually.
beautiful,
It's part
beautiful,
of my watch
beautiful
list for
part of writing journey for me. Exposed me to different things and the different reasons why people want to tell the kind of stories that they tell, aside from teaching or making money. So yes, this is Juliet Iwuoha, actor, writer,
Thank you very
filmmaker,
much for
all
a
round.
most beautiful introduction. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being here once again. And
Thank
we can't
you.
wait to dive into the conversation with you. Now, gosh, this topic is heavy. So I have to be sort of careful about some things I will say. Right. So, Juliet, I've heard this saying tossed around in Hollywood circles. Originality is just undiscovered plagiarism. Or this is like the first time you're coming
That
across it.
the originality
Is just undiscovered plagiarism.
that's new, but I've always believed
Okay,
that
right.
That's
art
definitely
is
So,
new.
not there's
basically,
nothing
this
original
suggests
about
that no idea is truly new, right?
that's
But it's
exactly yeah.
yeah, but rather it's like a remix of previous influences. Now, with the rise of global streaming platforms like Netflix and Prime in Nigeria, if they are still here, do you
Mm.
feel Nollywood writers are being pressured to adopt a more Western formulaic structure, to cross borders? Or is our unique narrative style actually our greatest strength? What do you think?
Um, Straight answer.
Hope that was not a loaded question because that breath you just took now was serious.
Quite loaded.
I'm going to give it's a loaded question.
All right.
It's a
All
loaded
right.
question. But I'm going to answer it in two different ways.
Okay.
Are we being pressured to adopt rigid Hollywood formulas? Right? That was the core of the question because of the studios. Um,
Yeah.
the straight answer is yes, because because the truth is, what makes a story travel? What makes a story travel? I think that's the first question that we have to answer. What makes a story travel? And I don't think it is formula or structure, depending on the language you want to use. It is specificity and truth,
Hmm.
right? Did Hollywood? Do you think Hollywood adopts? Let's not use the word copy because if you say copy now, it's going to be foul. Do you think that
Yeah.
Hollywood adopts? Do you think that they adopt? Do you remember any story that you can say, "Oh, Hollywood adopted this story from Nigeria, from Africa, from Benin, or from old Europe, or what?" Have you seen any
Adopt.
movie like that? Yeah, adopt culture,
I
adopt
wouldn't
style.
naturally say adopt our style, but I think I do believe sometimes they could take our own stories and tell it in their own way.
That's adoption. That's adoption. Taking it and making it your own, right? So
Okay,
Hollywood,
but not exactly copying us completely.
yes, not. I don't think they would copy completely, and it's
Oh,
so
because there are some
Hollywood
cases I've seen.
where they copied completely.
No. Like what I thought you were saying was that, in the case of adoption, like we have a story and then they go tell their own version of that story
Of that story.
different. Yes, but I don't think I've not seen a situation whereby, okay, now let me give an example of what I thought you were saying. There are some times that I've seen in Nollywood where an Indian movie, and maybe people don't really hear about, has been like them just is what, let's say, copied, you get, or adopted almost similarly,
Okay.
into our own screen. Yeah. So I don't think
Okay.
that's what I similarly would do.
No, so Hollywood don't copy. I think that one is just like don't copy. So what they do adopt. But Hollywood did not win hearts by copying others. What they did or what they do is export their own voice. So Hollywood takes a bit of this and they bleach it to look like them. You know how there's this myth about, I'm sorry, I'm going to digress a little. There's this myth about how Michael Jackson was forced to turn his skin white because they wanted him to look more like them. I don't know if
Yes.
yeah.
It's
So it's a myth. We don't even know if it's true, but it sounds like truth, and so many people would say it anywhere tomorrow. It happens in story where these people take your culture or take language or take whatever. An example is Woman King. That's it. Woman King. Hollywood takes a little bit of something like Woman King. I don't know if you people remember that film.
Yes.
So
yes, I do.
that's good. That story was something that they took from the Benin people. It was it is an adoption, but you would hardly know unless you put your head to it and say, well, I want to find out. But see the way they told it. I think another example is not animation. That is it Superman or oh god. I remember it will come to me. But what I'm trying to say is that's what they do. Hollywood will take your thing and sell it back to you in their own identity, in their own form, in their own language, and what makes it who they are, right? So they bring everything to us. They bring their own truth to us. They take our own truth to us and shine it up, to have even a better form, and they still sell it to us, and we're taking it, and we don't find any problem with it because they make it their own. So I don't think there's a problem with adopting or the way you ask the question. Yeah, it's adopt, right? Adopting from them if we can make it our own. Because the truth is, we haven't even finished. There's a gap in our market. We haven't finished selling our own stories. We have stories that people are taking. That means we have too much that we haven't even touched, and we are scared. Yes, and we are scared of opening that market because sometimes we're like, will the world accept it? Why not? I mean, look at Seven Doors. Seven Doors. I have friends in the UK. I have friends in the US. I have friends in Sierra Leone, and they thoroughly enjoyed the depth of that story, the truth of that story. And it is an indigenous through and through. We have. I was at a function, a book launch, a friend's friend fed where he said something about the Ubuntu's and or the factor of Ubuntu. It is a core African story. And I got slides from that meeting because you don't want to know how many story ideas that I have, including on this, and I'm saying it out, and I'm afraid that the universe will carry this frequency, but it's okay. So we have stories that are untold, raw, countless. We have decided to restrict ourselves in one spot because we care more about what we think the industry market wants more than the truth. So
Thank you very much.
to answer in
Thank you. It's very detailed. Toyo, do you have a reaction to this, or should we just move on to another question? Because
Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just really listening to what you were saying, and you are right in the aspect that I like the fact that you even brought up Ubuntu, and I like it's quite deep. It's true that we have a lot of stories that we ourselves we have not yet even delved into, but we are seeing other people take these stories as well and tell it in their own format. And you know what? I think they have the capacity to actually tell it really well. That's actually not the funny thing. Like they have the capacity to tell it in a way that, there's a difference between you have an idea and then you have the capacity to really flesh it out. And it's kind of
exactly that's execution.
That is what?
Isn't that the main problem facing us in knowledge?
Yes.
I always tell people, yes. I'm glad that you people know that. Because I always tell people that sometimes the problem is not even the story or the structure or the formula.
Execution.
Because formula is very static. It is execution.
How do you call it?
I have been in a situation where go on.
No, please speak on.
I've been in a situation where I was restricted to a certain point of how the story should go. So because that's one of the reasons why I stopped writing YouTube, or at least stopped writing for YouTube for just anybody, because it became a madhouse where so this producer reaches out and says, oh, I want a story, but please, I want only 2 main characters, and inside this story I also want you to not use anything more than 4 locations or 2 locations, and I want it to run from this to that, and I don't want the world to be too big. Restrict the world to maybe a friend, a mother, and things like that.
Oh, yeah, boxing.
Can stifle creativity.
Do you think they're doing that because of budget?
Yes, is the budget. Is it not the budget that is execution, my sister?
It is though.
Now it's the same thing because they don't have the capacity to execute. So they are telling you what their money can. That is bringing budget before story. How?
That is the surefire way to stay trapped and caged in creativity.
Yeah. How can you bring budget before story? How?
You have to dream. You have to dream first and then think of how you bring it to reality.
So it's
interesting.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Yeah. Because truly, I do think we have multiple unique narratives actually, and our style, our execution is, to be honest, what I myself still run into a headlock with. Thank you so much for answering that question. And now this even lets me get curious about your own experience. You spoke about writing for YouTube and now wanting to write for select people and things like that, and how stories can get boxed in. Now, how do you balance studio tropes, and commercial requirements like, what people just want to watch and all like that? How do you balance those kind of stories versus your own need, to tell stories that feel personal and politically relevant? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, thank you for that question. I have every artist has a niche, right? Every filmmaker has a niche, whether we like it or not. Because tropes will always influence your decision as a business person or as a filmmaker, right? Because you want to do what sells, right? But deep down, we all have an niche. We all have our stories, the stories that we want to tell, the message that we want to send, right? So that's that. And there's no balance, honestly. There's no balance unless you are Kemi Adetiba or Tyler Perry or Funke Akindele or I'm calling names because I know you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
You have independence. You have the resources. Oh yeah, forgive me for. How could I not mention?
Because it shares a lot of the weirdest.
So that's when you can do that. If not, So until you have that capacity, the story you tell will be affected. But there's a small trick that I have always used, right? And that trick is always telling my story in every story. Right. So when on my Instagram profile, I have a thing there where I say there's a story in everything, and that's because I'm not trying to say that there's a story in everything, but I'm trying to say that there's a story in everything. But what it really means is that I can find my story in every story, right? So that way, no matter the kind of story you bring or you choose to tell, because of what's selling, because of what's up, because of the trending thing, because of your community, I will make it my story personally as a writer. I will own it, and then I will find my story in that story and I will tell it. That's the one way that I can get satisfied as a writer and not be frustrated. Recently, I didn't turn down that job because money. Turned it down because I wasn't pleased. You hear me?
Okay. You can hear me. Okay. I think it's maybe the location. But you were talking about how you turned down a work, not because of money, but because you were not pleased.
Not because of money, but because the narrative did not sit with me. Yeah. Because I did not, my spirit, my being, everything that I represent did not agree with the story that they wanted to tell. So I can say no. I have gotten to that place where I can say no and walk away. Once upon a time, I could not. Once upon a time, I just wanted to prove to you that wherever you come from, you can go there. I just want to, but now because I can say no, I can walk away from it if it does not interest me. So I'm not influenced anymore by so much. When I know I cannot handle what you want because I do not believe in it, and because I don't believe you think it can sell, but you're influenced by the truth or whatever it is, your community or whatever it is. and I do not agree with it, and I can walk away. But in terms of dealing with balance, I can find my story
Wow.
and tell it. I just finished up by saying in terms of balance.
Okay.
How I balance the demand for studio tropes with my personal and political storytelling is bringing my story in, finding my story in every story. And it's not everybody that can do that. Some people just go, some people go, blind into it and then just, so that would not see depth in it. They will not see soul in it. They will not see real flesh in it. They will just see formula. They will just see structure.
Do you think it's possible? Yes, that's the thing.
so that the last conversation, I want to take it to the topic, which is formula and creative mastery, right?
Okay.
So generally, when people say a movie, a Hollywood film, because that's our I think it's because of formula. Formula as it is relies on repetition, the kind of repetition that says the kind of repetition that says, okay, to climb a tree you have to take off your slippers, or to it's embedded in rules. But when a Hollywood film is, you say it's brilliant, it's great, it's amazing, it's often because of the creative radicalism that went into the art. But what if these two are still brothers? What if both sides are important and can't really do without each other? Because Hollywood, as it is, has produced a lot of masterpieces. At the same time, they have made mediocrities. They've made shit films too.
Mm-hmm.
Using the same industry system, the same formula. So the real question now, I think, is it's not supposed to be formula versus creativity. I think it's supposed to be, or should be, who knows how to use structure without becoming trapped by the trap or cage or box of structure.
That's true.
And who is bold enough to even tell the story as it is? Because some producers, A Very Dirty Christmas had, I think, 4 different drafts. Originally, the first scene was supposed to open with where
it was supposed to open with a what?
Right, but the reason why that story did not begin like that was because a strip club scene, like a strip club scene, where one of the core characters, where one of the core characters, Jada, worked, right?
Yeah.
But producer had some counsel, and then production thought that, we've had our 1 or 2 films that started like that. Let's not start like that. So you see, that's not the original flow of the story.
Yes.
Because they had, they were even like, it's cinema. Let's not be, too bold, because they might have 1 or 2 reasons. A lot of things go happen in cuts. Even after shooting, lots happen during edits. There are parts of stories are chopped off. So the fact that you have to be bold enough to tell the story as it is. That is one of the things that makes creative radicality. That makes structure have meaning. So that's maybe what we are calling mastery. Mastery is knowing structure, knowing formula, using formula, saying, okay, I know that this cup of milk can give me this cup of milk, and this cup of butter, and this cup of flour can give me a moist cake, or whatever the cake recipe this baker knows is. But this baker now decides, what if I put a little bit of strawberry? What is it going to come out like? Risk, going outside what you know, stepping out of the box. That is what makes it mastery. That is what makes formula relevant. Now, what we ourselves as creatives see as formula and what the audience sees as formula are not the same. I don't know if you people agree with me.
I'm feeling it out.
Because
I'm feeling how you're saying.
Yeah, I was telling you about that. I did not attend any screenwriting course. I self-taught myself from ideation
Oh,
to
really?
That's a
creation.
shocker. That's
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how we just glossed over that. That's a shocker. You didn't attend any course at all? Was it before you
I
started
didn't attend.
professionally writing, or let's get into that? How come?
From the beginning until now. I think the first class I have attended was held by my mentor, Xavier Iwuoha. I don't know, you should know Xavier, Mr. X. And that was just 2 days ago, or really, right? Yeah, but before then,
Two
I
days ago.
self-taught. Yeah, yeah. I attended because I admire him and I just, wanted to attend a lecture, hear him teach. Because, I've learned from him, but only on the job. Worked with him as a co-story developer and a scriptwriter. Right. So on the job, I learned a lot of things from. But what I'm trying to say is this: I've never attended any course to learn how to write. I self-taught myself from ideation to creation, and I can say that I know the traditional formula of screenwriting like the palm of my hand. And I tell you that most Nollywood writers, the professional writers, they carry formula on their head. They know formula. In fact, there was one meeting where I attended where, can you hear me? Where I
Yes.
attended this meeting where there were, so many writers who are experienced, and this lady started saying something about how she used the 8-bit sheet, and there were so many languages that they were throwing in, and in my head I was just like, call me goofy, right? But in my head I was just like, it's not by knowing all these things, so it's not by knowing all these knowing 10 bits and 1,000 bits. So it's not formula. It's not formula. Can you be mad? Can you be abnormal? Can you think like
Hmm.
a mad person? because so professional writers carry formula with grace. But we all know that screenwriting is only one part of filmmaking, right? And and as much as you want to follow the rules, you have to also, be unconventional. And let's talk about a little about what happens after a screenwriter does a good job, and then execution is a mess.
Yeah.
Because execution is one of the biggest challenges we have.
That makes sense. Let's dive into that.
So I cannot.
Because that is a big issue. Sometimes I don't know where to put the blame.
I should not. Should I not go back to where I digressed from? You want us to take off execution?
Yeah,
Should
you
we
can
take
talk
up
about
execution?
execution because
Because
we have a like literal Hollywood writer here with us. I am someone that likes watching films a lot, and for me, story is very big. So whenever I see like a story that goes like a little bit odd, I'm like, now who should I give a knock on the head? Like,
yeah,
is it the director? Who wrote this? Or is it that they didn't execute it well? Is that there's something they asked me for what's happening? Like, I tend to struggle with that a lot. We won't discuss it on a past episode. So I want to hear from you direct.
I saw a TikTok live. No, not a live. It was a live. It was a reel where this guy was giving a movie review, and everything he was saying, I could relate to it. I could relate to it from the angle of the right. Who knows that? Because this guy was taking out his anger on the writer. He cussed out the writer like this guy. And me as a writer, I was like, I know how these things can be. I know it's possible that the scripts that bettered this film is different. So this guy was complaining that the build up in the story was not good. That so many things were falling on people, like immature surprises, unjustified surprises, unsatisfying surprises. Everything was all over the place. And me, I know that this thing can actually happen in production, post-production. It can happen. It could be the editor. It could be the producer that has decided
cut
that.
Out.
Yes, cut out. Without being emotionally sensitive to the audience, because some of them don't give it. I don't want to cause. Some of them don't care.
Gosh.
They just want to bring out picture there. But you forget that there was a purpose for scene 1. There was a purpose for scene 10. Sometimes it's the director. Some directors live in their own world. When there are directors that you encounter, and when they have read your scripts, and when they are sharing the story with you, you're asking yourself, what is this?
Am I the one that wrote this?
Is this what I said?
Am I the one that wrote it?
You'll be asking yourself how.
Let's circle back.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, wow. I think it must be quite frustrating, as a writer, to consistently see your work not executed properly. I think it must be so stressful because sometimes, especially for those that struggle with perfectionism, sometimes you want that as you have written it, it should just manifest. But then, there's this quote I saw. Can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Yeah, there's this quote. Yeah, there's this quote I saw that they said, theater is very wonderful, because it is collaborative. And also that is like the best part of theater is that it is collaborative, like of acting or of film is that it's collaborative. That is also the worst part of it. Because the thing that makes it all wholesome and wonderful is the fact that so many people join their hands to create something wonderful. And that's also the worst part of it because now you have done something, you have written something, and it's still going to bypass other creatives that want to have their imprint on this creative project.
Oh, yeah.
So at a point, it will have changed form before it even comes out. And in fact, everything starts with the script. So you are always the first template that everybody wants to put their fingerprint on. The past director, the past actor. Actor self can even come and say, sorry. An actor can even say, because, I'm also an actor, again. An actor can suddenly say, the way this place is written, I feel if I should say it in this particular way, maybe now you as the writer, the way you've already imagined that this particular word has the perfect impact. But then the actor might feel, no, it doesn't have that perfect impact. Let me say it this way. For you now, it has already changed part of what you've already written, It's already changed.
So, remember, what you're saying now is core, it's solid. Remember what we said about the studio troops, right?
Yes.
That also, it's they're in the same world. All these things, execution, trend, community, niche, all of them are in this world. So if I, Juliet Iwuoha, have as a storyteller who writes, amazing stories, have a vision, I've written it down plainly, the way I see it, the way I received it. And I am opportune to have the capital, the fund, to bring it to life in every aspect. Anything that goes wrong in that story, anything that the audience does not accept is on me.
Wow.
Because now you've had full control.
Yes. So I'm sure. At least sometimes, good creatives, we are perfectionists. The actor, at the end of the day, will say this. So Kyla will write the story, direct it, maybe even design it, then direct it, produces it, owns it. It's his vision brought to life.
Creative ownership.
And yes. And if it is beautiful from script, it will be beautiful to consumers. Because he has carried everything on, right?
Yeah.
It is the vision. And if it is beautiful from the script, because if it is not beautiful from the script, the you will say, oh, guys, picture quality, good locations, luxurious, like that. Because those ones to play their own role, right?
Yeah, they do world building. This is true, indeed. Wow. Yes. I think Demola wanted to chip in something then.
Yeah, I sort of did, but I wanted to allow you to.
Thank you. Okay, I think I'm quite done with my thought process. If you want to share something.
Right. So I wanted to jump back into that creative mastery trope, especially in this Nollywood that we are in. In your opinion, who is currently mastering the craft of creative mastery in Nollywood? Is it the person who follows the rules perfectly, or that person who breaks them so well that we don't realize that those rules are gone? Who need to you?
I don't know who came together with these questions, if I can ask.
The two both of us.
The two both of us. So to you, who do you think is mastering that craft in Nollywood.
So I think mastering is actually knowing the rules, right? So well.
Okay.
So well. Not by books. Knowing the rules of storytelling so well that when you break them, it feels when you break them, it feels it feels like a chef's kiss. It feels like this is recipe. This is
So
that kind of
knowing tropes well, so well that you can subvert them.
yeah, that you can play with them
Yeah,
and get radical
yeah.
and break them and rewrite them and now make them the
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, some of the best tropes that we have now came from subverting a bunch of already standard tropes, right? So I think I agree with you in that.
It all
But
goes
if
back
you
to the
break rules,
basics.
without understanding them,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
it does that. It becomes foolishness. It looks like a mistake. It looks like a mess up.
Yeah.
Right? Pardon my language,
You,
but yeah, if you follow rules blindly, it feels like if the story becomes predictable, becomes that's one that you watch and roll your eyes like, okay, I saw it coming.
we've seen this before.
Yeah. So the real power is in controlled rebellion, the rebellious.
I like that.
Yeah.
Controlled rebellion.
Yes.
Controlled rebellion. So it's not like scattered rebellion.
No, it's not
No.
scattered rebellion.
But
On a
there
straight
are some
line.
masterpieces that have come from scattered rebellion. Oh.
Example.
And this is where you catch me. I don't have examples in my head currently.
because
I'll give an example.
Yeah.
Let me bail you out. Let me bail them all out. I think scattered rebellion. Something that we have not really. I'll give two examples from two different extremes. Let me see. In terms of story, I'll give two examples from two different extremes. Of what I believe is like maybe scattered rebellion, not giving us the normal thing that we think. Number one, Tenet by Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
In my own life, yeah.
Tenet by Christopher Nolan.
Yes, it's not Christopher Nolan that wrote Tenet, that did Tenet. It is now.
Is that one scattered rebellion though?
Yeah, I feel like I'll call it scattered. Yeah, I feel like I'll call it. I said that's what I believe we are calling scattered rebellion, like in the aspect of like throw something far enough that it actually looks good from that distance because multiple times people even watch Tenet.
I didn't get that.
I'm saying like I'm saying showing something like it threw that story far enough, that it became like, what is this? But at that distance, it still looked kind of good, it still looked good, even though it's confusing in a way. You get what I'm saying? Like the normal part of a story that we see, is like, oh, this follows it, this is that. That story, you can watch it probably backwards, and it will have
and it will make sense.
Yeah, and you can
So that is not scattered now. Is in line because so you know that
it's still actually controlled.
Yeah, it's controlled. There are stories that start. So I think the professional term, not I think it is the professional term for starting a story from the middle is in media res. That's when you jump right into the story. So in media res, you're not telling the audience, okay, story in the beginning. So you are telling them you are in the story already. You are in the middle of the story. Catch up. Work your brain. I'm not here to baby you or carry you on as a child and spoon feed you. Work with your brain. Let's tell this story together. That's what styles like that do to or does to an audience rather.
An example of that is actually one Christopher Nolan film, Memento. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I love the guy, but that's one of the films I can really think about right now. Memento. It's like it throws you directly into. It's about this guy that lost his memory and is trying to retract what happened.
I think I have.
Right.
Oh, it's not really coming to me now, but I have an idea.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah, Memento. I think it was like in the 2000s or something. It throws you directly. I think the first scene was like him being like disabled and in one place like that I didn't even recognize.
I think it opened with a murder scene, then moves back in time.
Yeah, exactly. You remember that?
Yeah. So that's what it does. You're just in the middle. You're in the aftermath, trying to now decode the course. Hollywood seems to stand out. They have a big. Oh my God! They have a big. They have big balls for style. For style, for crazy. Because they go beyond art. It is so dense, and the strength of the industry, comes mostly from studio investments, right? Studios
yes, of course. It's just those budgets at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and even the ones that are owned by individuals, even the ones that are owned by individuals, and a strong creative voice is leading the charge, is the front man. Hollywood runs on stronger collaboration than you can ever imagine.
Exactly.
The collaboration is crazy. But the demand is the same, because the investors also demand predictability, like Hollywood investors. Every investor, you want to know what you're putting your money in. So you want predictability, you want clarity, you want to.
You don't want your money to go down the drain.
Yeah.
You don't want a Christopher Nolan type film.
Yeah. So that's why people always. That's why stories fail when you are depending on formula alone. Because yes, formula will do things like budget guidance and confidence for you, right? The formula can give you audience expectation. Easy marketing. Yeah. What sells since 2020, 2014? What sells the cinema? It's not a comedy. Everything.
So it's comedy with a dash of drama.
And at the same time, they want to cry.
Exactly.
I think YouTube audiences are the most frustrated because YouTube producers are so inconsiderate. They keep revamping
the same stories.
Yeah.
The gate man gets married to the.
They're not stupid.
The gate man is wealthy and is loving the Oga's daughter or something. All those crazy tropes. The repetition is crazy.
Revamping like a wig.
Gosh.
Put it on.
But the audience are seeing it. They're complaining too. They're not dumb. They want something different. And so when you are blaming formula and blaming writer and blaming, you also blame economic pressure, right?
Now one.
Yeah.
You blame economic pressure.
Somebody wants to gamble.
And it's so embarrassing, but this person made
man must chop now. For real.
This person made a whole film in one day. But you know it happens now. Is it a shocker?
Well, it happens. It's not even a shocker. Coming from our own people.
Film. Yes, now. A feature film, not a short film.
Feature film.
A feature film?
Okay. In a day.
No, are you joking? No, you are joking.
On steroids.
I'm not joking now.
What are they? Did they take something? I don't understand. Wait, a feature.
Let me guess. As you said, maybe only for the world building is in 4 rooms or something. Maybe.
It's probably all interior shots or something. It even takes a while to set up interior shots, to be honest.
You get
so this
to like 24 hours.
Don't stress your brain. That's really.
You know what? I'm not even going to try to think of how that happened.
I'm suspending disbelief for this thing you've just said now.
Suit yourself.
What? a feature film in one day. Can you link that to me? I would like to watch the outcome of that film because what?
I don't
God
have
help you, it should not be so good.
but I was there. I was a witness.
Let's hope we even get
What?
an outcome.
Huh?
I said, let's hope we even get an outcome. So that Demola can.
God. What?
So it's crazy. It's just, for 90% of 100, it's about the returns. It's about the money, the small.
It's just money.
Just quick money. That's so because the ability to make good film truly starts from story, right?
Yeah.
The use of structure. What do you do with the character, the team? You play with them and handle them so deliberately that the story feels organic and emotionally precise, so that even when you are shooting, you are feeling it, you have direction, you know where you are going. Stories like Godfather uses a crime genre, right? So I like TV because I feel like TV is the only way that you can know the character's world. Like you can know, like you can explore the story. You can a film cannot open the character's world.
It's limited time.
So it's not
This
possible
is a
to
3-hour film.
I like TVs. So stories like The Godfather, you see how they use crime genre structure, but they also explore family and power and respect and identity.
Yes.
Beauty in Black, Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black, it follows a slow tension design, but somehow it now breaks into full-time thriller and black girl power.
I have to get into season 2. I watched season 1 and I was like, okay, what's going on? Oh, buddy.
I've seen season 2 and the ending was...
Don't spoil it for me. Don't spoil it for me.
So the Dark Knight uses a comic book framework, right? But it also feels political crime drama. The Very Dirty Christmas is, dramatic, slow burn, and it used media arrest. It wasn't the original style, but it used, eventually we did, remember I told you that, oh my God, I was supposed to be sharing this deeply, but it used the media arrest, and the burn was heavy. When people, felt the burn, they were like, oh, like, okay. Yeah, because it was a slow burn. It was a very slow burn drama. So these things are structured. There's formula. It's like normal party jollof, but your own party jollof doesn't taste like this person's party jollof. It's different. It has its own
some are being
signature.
On slow fire.
Yeah.
To get it all in there. Flavor will be different.
It will be different. It will be different. And I think one thing that people don't know how to use well is the character depth, because
Another banger.
Audience cannot reject structure because some of them don't even know what your structure is. Right?
They don't know.
But when you give them something that is not sitting where they know, as your story that they are rejected. So because sometimes no character depth, no dialogue, and dialogue is important with capital letters because dialogue can make or mar your story, your screenplay.
Yes, it can.
Yeah. And this is okay. You want to say something?
Yes, I do. Before we get far on that, I wanted to say that you spoke about character depth and you even spoke about how dialogue can make or mar your project. So there's now I don't know if you're familiar with the TV series Peaky Blinders. From Shelby. Yes, Peaky Blinders. So I am a big Peaky Blinders fan, and in fact they've brought out the movie, and I've watched it. So you get like, God, it's a very sensitive topic for me. But I want to tie it to the fact that you said we are talking about scripting. First of all, there are awesome lines like great wordplay, good writing, wonderful in that aspect. And when you talk about character depth, I feel like there's an extent to which writers and everybody, they will have written a character, the actor will act it, and the audience themselves watching it, they will already
Not
know
feel.
what this character can and cannot do. Do you get? So now there is in the movie there is something that Tommy Shelby did. I don't want to spoil it for those of us that might not have watched. There's something that Tommy Shelby did, and as someone that has watched season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm like, I know you are the one that wrote it, but this is not how the character that me I love and know and I've watched on screen act. Because the character depth has started with me. So I feel like sometimes maybe writers and the creators, sometimes because you are the one directly at the seat of creation, you forget how this character has unwrapped in depth to the audience that watches him. To the extent that the audience themselves are the ones telling you that no, this is that you
This is not
what your own character. This is not our character. This is not what he's going to do. Because it's an exchange. You create, I consume. So like I don't know, that thing is just really deep because it's such a deep character to me. And I think in my head, just because I don't hate the movie, I love the movie. But in my head, I kind of just blotted out that part. I'm like, okay, yeah, people mess up in this part, but I'm just going to relate it to my memory.
The only justification for that I would say is because the series is a trip, right? It's a long trip where they have the opportunity to uncover, layer. And I feel like in the film they wanted to just not, give you what you were used to or what you were expecting or what you know. I don't know if that is why they would reframe that character. Or maybe it's because the character now lacks depth. You did not get to explore that character unveiling to be this person that you have seen in the film, right?
In fact, sorry to cut you. In fact, it was actually like, for the most part of the movie, it was great. Sure, you get my point. It was great. But there was just that one singular major action that made it clear to me as the audience that I don't think he would have made this move. You get that kind of thing. So I think, I don't know what the writer was thinking at that point, or maybe he or she wanted to explore, or they wanted to explore a part of that character. I'm like, oh well. But my brain, I just blotted it out for them because I'm like, you people will not turn my character to this. I still loved it that way. I didn't write you, but I love you.
So you see, character has a big part as much as dialogue. Honestly, yeah. I'm a sucker for strong dialogues. I think
it's great.
The best dialogues I've heard were from crime stories, epics, medical films, and law films. I think law films. Law films. The dialogue strength
that you will hear, and you will know that you are getting smarter by listening to that dialogue.
Yeah. You will hear something that will keep you. You want to know, like it's engaging. It's you. It's fast. It's not dull. It's not telling you what you know. It's telling no. Dialogue is big, and I have this client who is always saying, she's always praising my ability to create beautiful, fast-paced dialogues. And whenever we have, like recently, we had a misunderstanding. Yes, writers and their clients and their producers fight too. we had a misunderstanding, and then when I realized that I needed to come to a certain level with her for her to actually understand where I was coming from. I called her, I spoke to her on a level, and she was like, Juliet, your words.
There you go again, spinning them.
So yes, I feel like this. It's the creator, it's the writer, it's the filmmaker. It's what you carry that's but you can't borrow it from anywhere. If you generate it from AI, you generate dialogue from AI, you will sound like a machine. Your words will not carry emotions, right? So it's not. It comes from the inside, and I want to say this. Formula is like a skeleton. It gives shape, and the mastery, which is what that thing we call rebellion or creative radicality or radicalism, is the flesh. And without the skeleton, the story will not have shape. It will collapse. And if there's no creative radicalism or creative mastery, the story will be flat out, dead. On arrival, it's dead. So For writers, structure organizes the emotion and what comes before. The beats will create pacing. The payoffs reward the setup. But the humanity is that thing that makes it different. That's what will create memory. I want to ask a question. Do any of you, do you remember a film or a show because of the exciting incident? Because maybe in scene 10 or scene 37, there was an exciting incident where Raymond had a gas leak and his apartment caught fire. Do you remember that exciting? Do you remember an exciting incident of any movie as much as you remember the moments? For example, in Blacklist, you know how have you guys seen Blacklist?
Yes.
I've not seen it, but I've heard of
Maybe
it.
only like a season to me, Sha.
I remember almost all the father-daughter moments in Blacklist, where especially the ones that sit with me are moments like when Elizabeth King realized that Raymond Reddington was her mother, who is now transgendered into a man.
Yeah.
Who is also an A-list criminal who the FBI has been after and has come to integrate himself into the system just because he wants to be close to his daughter and protect her. I cannot forget the father-daughter moment where Elizabeth King died Raymond Reddington. In the betrayal, nobody forgets the sabotage scene. In How to Kill a Monk, people don't forget betrayals in stories.
Yeah.
Yes. People don't forget betrayals.
Why?
Nobody forget. You always remember when it was. Yeah, you can't forget. You can't forget. You can't forget. Yeah, you were saying something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying, and the way the actor portrayed it, like these eyes, the look of betrayal that brotherly, you did like this, sad.
Yeah. That's execution, that's delivery. Everything comes in, everything. But people don't forget moments like that in story. That is mastery. Knowing how to create moments. The aspect of sacrifice too is also something that people don't forget. I can't forget the scene from behind the scene where Toby gave Mr. Macaroni, I'm using real names, gave Mr. Macaroni his car just so he could drive. Yes.
Okay, to take the children to school, Abby. Yeah.
I don't forget that. It makes me realize
that moment started to change.
Yeah.
His character was developing.
Yeah, he's actually a mess up, but he's human. He loves his sister.
He gave us an extra layer to him.
Yes. And then in A Very Dirty Christmas, it was the emotional truth that even as a writer, I cannot forget because I'm emotional. It's that moment where Ini, I'm using real names, but in the character she's Lulu, told her sister Lala that her marriage was great. Her marriage wasn't great. Because she had already told her, created all this picture that she's having a good time, the man loves her, they're going here and there and there and there. But when she had that vulnerable moment to tell her sister, you know what, my marriage isn't great. In fact, it's at the verge of collapse. It's collapsed. Like, I one thread whole. I'm like, that was even as a writer, that was the vulnerable moment that made it for me, right? So I like to just say that this is personal to me, and I hope that it also answers the core question for this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are things that writers should learn, whether Hollywood writers or Nollywood writers. Discipline is everything in story.
Discipline.
Yes, discipline. Pacing. Knowing that people don't want to sit for 5 minutes and nothing is trailing or holding them down to watch. Even when you take a break from a TV, there's something, a TV show, there's something you remember that will make you come back and say, maybe it's just a dry moment, I'll to pick up again. Character objectives, setup and payoff. What is the setup? The payoff doesn't have to always be good. That's why I enjoy Kim stories. I enjoy these two people I enjoy Tyler Perry's story, right? Because he's close to home. They know that they understand the concept that characters should not be perfect. Characters are allowed to be flawed.
Yes.
Because in real life, we are all flawed.
Yes.
We all have ups and downs, and not everybody has a perfect ending. That's something I love about this client I have also. Her name is Princess. Princess doesn't create regular characters. Because me and her, we write, I do the writing, but we build all the stories together. She's involved. She's disciplined. she's disciplined. She works in US corporates. She works in US corporates, so she doesn't have the time to put the laptop down and write. So I write her, but we tell the story together, and she's involved. So she believes in flawed characters. She believes in rewrite.
Yeah, I like what you said about flawed characters because
rewrites work. Rewrites are okay. It's okay to rewrite the story. Sometimes it even comes out better, stronger than the first write. And care about the audience. Don't just put it out there, because care about the audience. Care about the fact that they are intelligent, and even the ones that are unintelligent need to learn and become intelligent. Yes, there are unintelligent audience. Yes, there are people who don't know, who are not informed. So they matter.
That's true.
Yeah,
they're
they
informed.
Matter. Yes, they need to. That's why they have to watch that thing so that they learn. People who learn through films, the people who learn through travel,
people do learn
and studies. Yeah, so we have to also remember in the beginning I said it's okay to even to adopt these people's thing. When you ask me that question about how tropes, it's okay, but when you take their own, refine it to look like your own, so that you're not copying
like an
blindly. You're not copying blindly. You're not just chasing the trend, right? So that's my special note to African writers who want to adopt. Take our language.
Talking about learning and
go on.
Okay. Talking about learning and refining, I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit on academies, right? So, as experienced creatives in the industry, what advice would you give to young people who want to start in the film space? And how important do you think academies are? Because like this episode is sponsored by, Hubert Ifokonbale Film Academy. Do you think, what is your stance on academy, since you didn't necessarily go to one or a class?
It's not everybody that can be a natural, right? It's not everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And remember, I told you that I was self-taught. Academies, 10 years ago, academies were not as much as we have them now. I think there were about one or two. Now, I feel like the creatives are privileged to have access to academies, online, offline. I was disciplined. That's why I was able to self-teach myself through reading, right? And watching. But sometimes some people cannot do that for themselves. It's not everybody that has the capacity for self education. So the academies are there. If I have the opportunity, whenever I have the opportunity, I want to learn, I want to hear other people, because at the same time, it's beyond what you know, it's what the other person knows, the other person's experience. You take from here, you take from there, and then you make a mountain. So the academies are, I think it's privilege, especially when you don't have to give too much to access it. Free academies, half paid academies, half sponsored academies, we have all those things today. And it's a privilege. Beyond teaching you how to craft, it exposes you to the real market, to the heart of practicalism. It's not just, you don't just have theory, you are involved. Opens doors for you. Because imagine passing through an academy and someone who is maybe a supervisor or sponsor or even a teacher or a guest, something sees you and picks you out and say, oh, I love the way your head works. I love how committed you are. I commit this to you. For example, say you are learning direct or learning script writing, and then Mrs. Xavier happens to be a guest speaker or a guest lecturer in one of the classes that the academy is hosting. And after teaching Mr. X is like, okay, he has a habit. I just realized that he says, okay, I like the way your assignment turned out. I like the way your head works, and I promise to get you on board for the next story workshop that I'm going to have. That's the only way I'm rewarding you for good performance. That's an opportunity. That's a breakout. When someone like Mr. X pushes you out from a program like that and commits you, the blessing is endless. And imagine a director, someone like Bex Okodo comes and says, oh, or someone like Funke comes and teaches directing, or someone like Femi comes and teaches directing and says, oh, I like your commitment, I like this, I like that. You are going to
on the side. It doesn't even have to be publicized. It could be on the side. I'm just saying that opportunities come from platforms. You can't grow on your own. You need somebody. You need to be seen. So while Academy is teaching you, they are exposing you to the world, they're exposing you to being seen. So that's why I feel like Academy is a plus. It is beneficial. It is integral. Right. Everybody has a different story, a different journey. So I mean, it's important to try out different waters. That's my take on that.
Wow. Thank you so much.
So
thank you so much for sharing that.
In conclusion, my pleasure. In conclusion, I would say, returning to the core question, I would say Hollywood is built on formula and creativity in simple terms. But my radical answer is that one cannot function well because a good story is based on structure and elevated by creativity. But it is damaged by laziness. So formula is a tool and creativity is the force behind it. It's just simple as that, right? It's just simple. And at the end of the day, the audience doesn't know structure, like I said before. You care about does it give meaning to them? Does it meet them somewhere? Is there someone that watches and says, oh, yes, right, okay, this is a message for me. Yeah. So that's it.
That was such great tips. Thank you so much for sharing that. Speaking of a good story, are you tired of your life feeling like a poorly written product? Or do you find yourself stuck in a formulaic routine of urban soup every single night?
Don't be a cliche. Upgrade your life's production value. This episode of Let's Talk podcast is also brought to you by Common Sense. It is free, it is rare, and it is the only thing that actually solves a plot hole.
Side effects may include realizing that sequels are usually a bad idea.
Oh my God, I beg. This is so cringe. So for those wondering what's going on, we just decided to do like a little skit to just a little meta commentary for you guys. I'm sure Juliet must be wondering what is wrong with these people.
Joke.
Oh God, what is wrong with? It's not my fault, guys. Sorry. Juliet is wondering what is wrong with these people. Who are these guys?
It was a very dramatic twist. I like.
All right, so for everyone watching, if you are enjoying this conversation, please share this live, invite friends, follow at _film academy. Also remember that this live session is being recorded and will be available later on Apple Podcasts and Spotify on the Hubert Ifogombale Film Academy channel. So you can always come back to watch or listen again. And once again, if you're interested in joining the academy, registration is ongoing and the link is in our bio. Toyo, over to you.
Definitely. So, all right, Juliet, thank you so much. We are going to be moving into the final cut. We don't need you thinking too much here, Sheyget. Just instinct. We are it's going to be like a this or that kind of jump out kind of the thing. So, let's say 10 seconds per answer. Are you ready? Okay. So, plot twist or happy ending?
Plot twist.
Plot twist. Good one.
Wow, plot twist. I'm tempted to ask you why, but don't worry, we don't have time for that. Okay, my own is streaming release or cinema premiere.
Streaming release.
Money woman.
Okay. One Nollywood trope you would ban forever.
This one is going to be interesting.
I love joy. I love laughing. Can I choose? Oh God, it's hard.
It's a
Even me,
Nollywood
say, I
trope,
can't answer
not
that
Hollywood
question.
trope. Just choose our.
It's looking like comedy, but I mean, I think it's romance.
Don't take comedy away from me, please. Nigerians are suffering enough.
It's romance. That's
our own joy.
Romance?
Just choose our horror.
Yeah, romance.
Our horror doesn't really exist.
So
that's true.
That's because they are not doing it well, and the people that can do it are scared of the myth because they are not telling the original. They're not telling original stories for our horror. If you tell our original stories for horror, you will not you can't watch and see.
And I love horror.
We are adopting. That's bad adoption comes in. And we're not doing it.
It's giving me vibes because I feel old Nollywood did horror better, even if it was not intentional.
So that's why not giving up. I'm not giving up on horror for Nollywood. I believe that it is
Mm.
the future. So that's why I cannot remove it. There's hope for it.
Yes. Great.
Yet.
I love that. Let's keep horror.
Anyways, my own best place in Lagos to get writer's block cured.
I honestly, if we're being realistic, actually, Oshodi.
Oshodi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a
Interesting.
restaurant or is there like a bush or what's going on?
Oshodi is you don't know where Oshodi is.
It's a bush.
No, is there a restaurant in Oshodi or like a forest in Oshodi that you go to sit?
You want to forest for Lagos? Yeah, Lagos.
The whole of what you know as Oshodi market, Oshodi, in fact, Oshodi as Oshodi. I feel like that place chaotic. As in,
Oh,
chaotic. I haven't spent. That's why it was hard for me to answer that question because I create from home, and when I'm outside, I'm either in a workspace where I have paid for and I want to work there for the day, or I'm by the poolside and I'm writing and getting some recreation. But if not, I'm home, I'm writing, and when I go out, I just get that experience. I see things that inspire me to write. But writer's block is I don't know if you understand what writer's block is. So from my own understanding of what that thing is, can only happen if I have to write in Oshodi market, if I have to sit down the middle of Oshodi market or under Oshodi bridge and write. I don't think I can be able to write anything because it's loud, it's noisy, it's chaotic.
what? Wow. I can't thrive in that kind of chaos. So not me. No, I will be lost. I'll be distracted by everything.
Now, moving on. Pen and paper or a final draft software?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
It's both of them because I always do pen and paper before final draft. I'm so vintage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pen and paper is
There
quite
are people I know like this Celtex or final draft, whatever it is, they go straight into their computers.
I cannot go.
They don't write.
I have to write the original idea in
as it's coming, my hand direct.
depending on how it comes to me, and then after that,
Does it?
I have
Wow.
to do like my beat sheets. I have to talk to myself about the story. And when I'm doing screen live, it affects my thought process and my creativity. And so I can pour in more to the paper. And then when I have done my beat to the point of doing my beat, sometimes I can even do my beat on MS Word before I go to final draft.
Wow. Because
I like that.
So does it get to a point where you write dialogue on paper before transferring?
No, I cannot do that. Unless my screen time is over and the dialogue comes to me and I'm just like, this is and I just write it down. Yeah.
Oh, you even have set screen time that's necessary, I think, for someone working on the system, right? That makes more sense. All right, so the next one, 90s Nollywood or 2020s Nollywood. Now, before you answer this, you see, I'm one of the people that I don't really like the arguments when it comes up. The 90s Nollywood, the old Nollywood, new Nollywood. I don't see the point of that argument, to be honest. I don't just get it sometimes. But I feel people need something to argue about. You like what you like at the end of the day, but it's all still the same Nollywood. But what do you think? 90s or 2020s Nollywood?
2020 is Nollywood.
Okay,
2020.
let's go.
Let me not ask why. I don't want to ask why. We enter a rabbit hole.
Rapid fire question. It's a rapid fire question. Moving on. The most formulaic Hollywood movie you actually love.
The most what?
The most formulaic Hollywood movie you actually love.
The most formulaic.
Like
the most formulaic, like the one that has the most formula. It follows a formula. And you actually love it. You've seen the trope before, but you still actually like
definitely.
it. That laugh is fake. That laugh is something else. Ginger for Nollywood. Wow.
Hollywood.
No. For Nollywood, that's fine, Ginger. But for Hollywood, we'll come to that. But Ginger, why Ginger?
Ginger is. Have you seen Ginger?
Yeah.
I've not seen Ginger. Like I can't relate.
Yes,
Who says
yes.
yes?
Have you seen Ginger?
Yeah, maybe I get, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I get why Ginger.
Okay.
But damn, okay. Okay.
What about
What
your
of Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Hollywood?
That one is a thinker. That one is a,
I
is
only
a
choose one.
yeah. Okay. If you have a
Okay,
bunch,
choose
you can
your
list
top
them.
three or top two. Top three or top two.
Did you hear me?
Yes, you said top. I said you can pick your
Yes.
top three or top two.
Okay, so you people might disagree with me, but
Okay.
Tenet.
What?
Tenet.
Oh, okay.
Tenet. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, but you will not fight me.
No,
We can't
look
fight
at
you.
you.
I like Christopher's movies, so me, I can't fight you. But is it formulaic? In what sense is Tenet formulaic? I know it broke tropes there.
The time thing, no matter how we look at it, is
Okay, it's a trope that you see before.
yeah. Even though they did it,
Yeah, their own just felt so revolutionary, felt so different. That's why I didn't really think
the
about
second one should be Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11 with Rihanna and them and Sandra Bullock.
You did one with Rihanna. Was that Ocean's 8?
Was that Ocean's 8
What
or
did you
Ocean's
say?
11? Ocean's 8 is with the women, I think. Ocean's 11 is with the guys.
Is it the one that?
Ocean's 8 should be Ocean's 11 is the one with the guys. Yeah, I just googled it.
Okay, Ocean's.
With George Clooney, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt. Yeah,
I think
Ocean's
the
11.
last one.
Last one will be what?
The last one should be, I don't know if. So because I did not finish this particular one, I don't know how it ended, but the build up and everything, the tone, the setting is why I am going to mention it, and that's the June. I don't know. I think it's
June. Part 1 or 2?
I didn't even finish part 1.
I didn't finish part 1.
I've seen
So
both.
it has the chosen one, the hero trope. So I think that's it. That's
true. That's true.
Okay. Not a bad line.
Now that I think about it, a lot of these tropes, they are stuff will continue.
They do it well. That they try to execute well, so that way is, I don't know.
Wow.
The execution is good.
Right. So let me ask you the last one. So how would you describe your writing style in, let's say, 3 words? Like if someone were to come up to you and ask Juliet, what's your writing style in 3 words? Or if you had like an elevator pitch and you had just 3 words to give to a potential producer to make your own film, how would you describe your writing style?
Unconventionally radical.
2.
And true.
Unconventional, radical, and true. Wow.
What a nice line.
Juliet, this has been an absolute masterclass. Honestly. Thank you for such an insightful deep dive into your process. I truly appreciate the technical perspective you've shared today. Your breakdown of the creative process, it has been incredibly enlightening. Thank you very, very much. We are glad that we could have this session with you. We're glad that we could pick your brain on a bunch of things that even we didn't know anything about, because I'm more of an actor. Toyosi dabbles in writing too as well. She's a writer too. So, but me, I like this. Your own writing is not screenwriting, Abby.
I'm not a screenwriter. I've not entered that lane. I used to write.
Okay. But Toyo writes. Toyo writes. Toyo is very good at what she does. So yeah, me like this, I can't go near it. My brain will just be hot under 1 hour or something.
I actually envision to write a story later on when I have great budget and everything. I would like to write and actually make a film, hopefully. So hopefully we get to that level. Make I see the save.
Of course.
But
Julia,
it's
thank
really
you.
wonderful.
Thank you very much for joining us. To everyone listening, don't just watch the credits. Always read the names. Read the names, especially the names of the writers in the credits, please. Writers
Yes,
are the
so
architects. The writers are the architects. Somebody on this episode too, Seth, on one of our episodes in the past, said writers are gods, basically. So I tend to agree to some extent. So, guys, we'll be back same time next week. Follow us on our socials for the replay and the highlights. Thank you very much, Juliet, once
thank
again.
you.
Seriously, thank you for being an amazing
Wonderful
host.
speaking with you, Miss
Thank you,
Juliet.
guys.
This was very beautiful. I enjoyed myself.
I'm glad you did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Network
Glad
wanted
you
to one up us, but bigger.
All right. Have
It's
a
like
good night.
I'll enter your DMs. I'll enter your DM for movie recommendations as well. That's my point. I'm serious. I'll
I'll
even
try
do
to
that
read
this
the
night.
season 12, Beauty in Black. I'll try to go back to it.
Yes, if I'll check out that Beauty in Black too as well. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
This
All right.
was
Thank you
really
so much,
so
good.
much.
We
guys.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Good night.
Hi, let's talk. No more,